What's going on, car family? Thank you for joining me in another video. Today we're here to take a look at an important vehicle from Mercedes-Benz. This is the all-new 2024 Mercedes-Benz E450 4MATIC, and it's based off the new 6th generation Mercedes-Benz E-Class. So this is a vehicle that's important to the brand, and it's been around for quite some time. Now, if you find yourself interested in this vehicle, be sure to reach out to my friend Ben's Blogger or Jesse Cannon Wallace at Mercedes-Benz of Atlanta Northeast. I'll leave her contact information in the description box below. So this particular vehicle is finished in a beautiful color. It's a Verde Silver Metallic. It's a new color. I haven't seen it before recently on Mercedes-Benz vehicles, so it might be fairly new, but it is stunning. It's a very nice, tasteful, green color on this car, and it suits it extremely well. So the E-Class, is this 6th generation instantly recognizable as an E-Class? To me, yes, with the proportions and some of the styling that we'll discuss up front. To me, it's instantly recognizable as a modern E-Class. Now, most importantly, this one is powered by a 3-liter turbocharged inline 6-cylinder, giving you 375 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. Now, it's a mild hybrid setup, so there's an integrated starter generator that allows for some additional power. So when that kicks in, you're looking at an additional 23 horsepower and 115 pound-feet of torque. Now, it's connected to a 9G-tronic transmission. 0 to 60 occurs in just 4.4 seconds. Now, that integrated starter generator has some benefits to it. First of all, the start and stop function, the eco function, is seamless. You can't even feel when the car cuts on and off in general. I think that's a pretty cool feature. It also allows for gas-free coasting as well. So the engine is a beltless design, and your fuel economy, you're looking at roughly 22 miles per gallon city and 31 miles per gallon highway. That's not bad. So starting with the design up front, we're greeted by a wide grille that features Mercedes-Benz stars integrated throughout the design. They're subtly integrated, they're there. Now the grille itself and the logo itself, I've noticed, are also illuminated in low light conditions. That's pretty cool. Over at the headlights, that's where you start to see a lot of those E-Class characteristics. The double headlight design, that's full LED, and of course you have the daytime running lights incorporated into that design as well. So that double headlight design is something that we've seen in a few generations of the E-Class of the past, and I love how they pull that design language into this modern theme. Now overall, we do have that front AMG styled apron, that A-wing that we've seen in a lot of other Mercedes-Benz vehicles, so that's there as well. But just overall, the front is just tastefully done. There's not too many lines going on. That's the theme with this entire vehicle. So it's a simple yet classy and elegant design. I really like that about this car. A lot of cars out there have too many lines, and it's usually the ones like this one that have very few lines, that are very simply designed, that look stunning, that really look the part that they're supposed to serve. That classy elegance that luxury brands like this one strive for. Coming over to the side profile, you'll notice that this vehicle gets fairly bigger with each generation. We're looking at a 116-inch wheelbase and then about 194 inches in length altogether. We do have the airmatic suspension system, which is silky smooth in this vehicle. You have to get this vehicle with an airmatic suspension. The ride quality is just insanely smooth in this vehicle, and that is just really part of what Mercedes-Benz sedans are about. Now this one is also fitted with the rear axle steering, meaning that at speeds lower than 37 miles per hour, the rear wheels will turn in the opposing phase up to 4.5 degrees as the front wheels. Now at speeds higher than 37 miles per hour, it goes up to 2.5 degrees in the same phase for increased stability. So at lower speeds, you're looking at sharper turning, especially in driving in cities or in parking situations. You want them to turn in the opposing phases of the front wheels, but at higher speeds, you want them to turn in the same phase for increased stability, right? For a more planted feel. So they did that, and then 37 miles per hour is that halfway point between turning in the opposing phase and in the same phase. So when you take turns in this vehicle, especially at intersections, you can feel almost like this vehicle is shrinking around you. and it feels like you have a lot more mobility. You're not intimidated by this vehicle's size. That's something that really weighs into the handling characteristics of this vehicle. It's instantaneously noticeable. You don't have to question if it has four-wheel steering. When you turn this vehicle at a low speed, you know it. Coming over to the rear, the first thing you'll notice are those LED tail lamps. They've been really tastefully done. They found a way to integrate the Mercedes-Benz star, the logo, into the tail lamps. At first, hearing that, the first time you hear something like that, you would think it would look cheesy, but it really looks nice the way they've done it. It's just subtly incorporated into the design where it's not just overpowering or overwhelming. So I love the LED theme on the tail lamps. I hope they do that on the rest of their vehicles. The trunk space, you're looking at roughly 12.7 cubic feet of storage, which is typical for a sedan of this caliber. And then coming lower, we do have, that lower valence that's typical on the Mercedes-Benz vehicle. So the design language, is similar to the other sedans where the roofline swoops down seamlessly into the trunk and all the lines just flow really nicely together. So I love how they kept that. Now, focusing on the interior for a little bit, it's done in a Nerva gray and black Napa leather. I think it's elegant in here. It's really nice. So I love the black Napa leather and the Nerva gray. It just goes well with the overall theme of the exterior paintwork. Flows extremely nicely. Now, of course, the first thing you're going to notice is this MBUX, or the MB User Experience Super Screen we have going on here. We have two 12.3-inch display screens, one behind the steering wheel and one in front of the passenger seat. So the passenger gets their own, infotainment or entertainment system. They can help you set up navigation points, or they can have their own entertainment there. Now in the center, we do have a 14.4-inch display screen here. We have the wireless Apple CarPlay going. It also features wireless Android Auto and tons of features and controls just for the overall vehicle, your apps and everything like that. Now you will notice that there is a camera located on the dash. I don't know if anybody will ever use it, but you can use it to take selfies or, Teams or Zoom calls. If you have conferences and you need to take them in the car, you can download those apps and use the camera for that. Now, I will say that most people who buy this car, are probably at the age range where, they might not be taking those calls or using all the tech in this car, but it is available if you need it. Of course, the center screen is easy to use. You're familiar with the Mercedes-Benz infotainment systems by now if you've been with this channel for a while. The lighting, vehicle settings, all the different apps and info. Mercedes-Benz has one of the easiest infotainment systems. In my opinion, it's very user-friendly, very easy to use. I will note that there aren't any physical dials or knobs for your volume or air conditioning system. So that's a drawback. There is a learning curve to that. Now, we do have some touch sensitive controls here for your volume, your hazards, and your dynamic select in case you want to drive it in sport, comfort, or in economic mode. So you do have the different settings here. There is a slight learning curve to it, but everything is there and you will learn it fairly quickly. Coming further back, we do have this black ashwood trim. It's an open pore wood. It really looks nice in this vehicle. And then two cup holders in the center with a wireless charger integrated all underneath here. If you want a clean look, you can just close this lid and everything just looks clean and fresh. I really like that about the interior as well. Now the seats themselves, they do feature 3 levels of cooling and heating. And again, they're swathed in that Nerva gray leather. They're very comfortable, as you would expect in a Mercedes-Benz vehicle. What more could you ask for? Steering wheel is also heated as well. We do have 2 thick aluminum shift paddles behind the steering wheel and controls for your infotainment system and your instrument cluster as well. Again, slight learning curve on how to use these buttons, but once you drive this car for a while, I've had it for a week, you get fairly used to it. Now, the instrument cluster itself features this 3D option. The camera will not be able to pick it up, but the map, the navigation itself is 3D. It's 3-dimensional. It's pretty cool how they did that. I think that's pretty slick. Mercedes-Benz usually throws the latest and greatest tech in their cars, especially in the E-Class, which is essentially a baby S-Class because it has most of the tech of the S-Class if not new tech, because it always seems to come out after the S-Class. We also have the head-up display system as well, and then you'll see the ambient lighting going throughout the cabin as well. Door panels covered in that Napa leather. We have controls for your seating, the touch sensitive controls for the seating. They don't physically move. You just apply pressure on the controls and the seats move accordingly. You have your heated and cool seats, 3-position memory seating, your Burmester speaker grills, which look nice. The silver pops out against the black leather, and of course, controls for all 4 windows and your side view mirrors and storage on the bottom of the door. We have a huge panoramic roof, which Mercedes-Benz is known for putting in pretty much all their sedans. So I love all that natural light coming into the cabin. You'll never have a dark day in a Mercedes-Benz sedan, at least not today, not with these panoramic roofs that also open and double up as a sunroof. So you're looking at about 41 inches of legroom up front. In the back, you do have your own air conditioning vents and 2 USB Type-C ports as well. So you're not left out with anything back there. The same luxury that you find up front, you're gonna find in the back with the leather seats, the ambient lighting, and then just that tons of natural lighting coming into the cabin. So they got you covered. Now, let's talk about the handling. This car feels extremely planted. It's extremely quiet in this cabin as well, which you would expect from a luxury vehicle. It handles just extremely well. I love the 4-wheel steering. I can definitely tell the difference instantaneously when you drive this vehicle. The acceleration, even though it's a 6-cylinder, I'm still a guy who loves seeing V8 and stuff like that. But the acceleration is definitely there. Let me let this deer cross. Go ahead, dude. All right. So I'm gonna lay into the throttle, and you see how easily this car is able to pick up speed, right? So it's just effortless. So there's tons of power available, and I feel like Mercedes was making V8s years ago that were giving you that kind of acceleration. Now we're in 6 cylinders, giving you that linear acceleration, right? So there's tons of power. The acceleration is there, and that is something you should expect in a luxury vehicle more than what you need, right? And the E450, in terms of power and acceleration, it's giving you more than what you would ever need. So price point for this one is at $89,000 with all the options. Usually these press vehicles come optioned out, but the way this car handles, it's an extremely nice handling vehicle, and the way this car looks, it looks really good, especially on that side profile, how that main line disappears and then comes back towards the rear of the vehicle. It's just a very simple design, and it's tasteful. It's instantly recognizable as a Mercedes-Benz vehicle. So let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments section. I want to keep this one fairly short, but give you tons of information in the time that you're here. And drop a comment if you like this one. Tell me what it is about the car that you like, and be sure to reach out to my point of contact if you're interested in purchasing one of these vehicles. Until next time, I'm Ben Wayne, the automotive reviewer that YouTube deserves. I'll catch you guys in the next one.